part 2 of Leveling Guide for Beginning Players, the do's and don'ts, rights and wrongs, and we will get right into it. So yesterday we fished at Lone Star, a few locations that I showed you guys where you can actually catch fish, trophies, push forward, make some money, and as you can see, we've got a pretty good chunk of money so that we can continue our fishing adventure, and we got 14 bait coins for completing certain missions and events. So now we have a few different missions that we could do, but we're going to stay away from them. It's not really required. Stuff you can do on your own time, leisure time. If you just feel like having something extra to do, that's fine. I choose not to personally because leveling now becomes really easy. So we're going to get into it. First thing we're going to do is go to the shop. Check our inventory because we got one rod. So shop, first thing we need to do, tools and tackle, keep net. See what size keep net we can buy. So this one is 3-pound single fish weight, 8 pounds total. This one is 6.5 pounds with 15 pounds total. This one's 5.5 pounds max with 26 pounds total. This one is the one we're going to need because we are going to be catching fish potentially that are bigger than 5.5 pounds very soon. So we're going to go ahead and pick this one up. It'll go to our home storage. And then we will need to buy a better rod case. This one here is the one we need, Hobby Gear 1000. We'll go ahead and pick that up as well. And then a lot of people like to try for rod cases or waistcoats. You don't generally need that, but the rod stands I will recommend when we get there is at least one. You will need at least one rod stand. This one will work perfect. That one I wouldn't waste your bait coins on. That's the one we're going to get, which will pretty much take us all the way until this one if we choose to get that one. Otherwise, none of these are really worth it. The bait coin ones are kind of a rip. They're really not that much better than the standard ones you can get. This one will be really good to wear, and the only one I would recommend maybe upgrading that one from is probably these, or maybe that one, but this one will work just fine. So we're going to go ahead and pick up this single rod stand, make sure that's everything. I believe so. Now we're going to go get our first spinning rod, and you have this value spin here, which is 6.5 pound rod, a 6 ounce weight, but it's 6 foot 3 inches. Now typically what I've found is rods that have longer length with the right reels generally tend to cast a little better. So we're actually going to go with this value spin right here, 7.6. It's a little longer. It's got almost the same weight requirements, 1/4 ounce, which is the smallest we're really going to need for now. And it's got a pretty hefty line weight of up 7.5. You could go with the Elemental series, but 710. It's only 50 more. It's really your choice, whichever one you choose to. Either one doesn't matter. This is a light rod. That is an ultralight rod. This one is really good as well. We'll go ahead and go with this one. Now for the reels, you'll see that we've unlocked several reels here. However, it's not going to be based on the reel early game, what you can get. It's going to be based off what size line you can get. Now I recommend anytime you use spinning, you always use braided line. Why? Because you can get more braided line on there and you reduce the risk early game of fish running away with your tackle and spooling you. So 4 pounds is going to be the max that we can get without having to spend bait coins, which we do not want to do. So we're going to pick up one of these, which should be plenty. Go back to our reels. So we have a couple options here, reels. This one has four ball bearings, 27.5 inches of line recovery. Early game, you're going to want one that has a fast recovery rate because the place we're getting ready to go fish has very fast fish, and we want to be able to keep up with them at least somewhat. This one here is 27.5. Then your starting one is 19.5. It's very slow, very difficult to catch fish. They will run straight toward you, and you will lose them due to low line tension. This one's 23.5. That one's also 27.5. This one's okay. It's not, I mean, the price of it is not that much different than this one as far as the setup. This one's 4.4 pounds of max drag, and this one's 3.5. However, we're only going to have 4 pounds max line. We can choose either one of these. It doesn't matter which one. You could even go with this one, but I don't recommend it. Like I said, the lower the recovery rate, the worse off you're going to be. This one's 31.5. Not a bad rod. You can see that it holds 4 out of 100 yards of line. So you're looking at almost 300 feet of line on this one. This one, however, you see that the braid on it is 10 out of 100. So going with a smaller braid is going to let you put even more line on there, which is really what we're going for. This one has even less. That's why we're going to go with this InspireCast 2000, and we'll run a max drag setup. So we'll come back to our inventory, and we will set up our new rod combo. So we have our new drag, we have our rod. We're going to take our new line, put a new line on there, and honestly, you don't need anything more than 500. Typically, at almost any lake, 500 would be plenty of line. That's why we went with this one. Good recovery and good amounts of line. Now, we're going to want to get a lure to use, and I know just the lure. We'll go to spoons. Oh, sorry, that's not right. We're going to go to barbless spoons. Now, this is where you spend your first bait coins. A lot of people have good luck with this one, and a lot of people have good luck with this one. Both of these will work. I favor myself, the purple one. I do have 4 accounts, 2 of which are either max or close to max. The third one is halfway there. And this one's just to show you guys this is what I'm working with. Not a bad investment. This is a great investment early game. This will take you all the way to level 30 almost with just this one spoon if you choose to stay at Emerald Lake. So, we'll now go to our inventory. We'll put on that barbless spoon. Go back to the shop. We're going to check. I don't believe we can get titanium leaders yet, unless we want to spend bait coins. Yeah, see, it looks like the soonest we can get a titanium leader is 7 pounds, and that's going to be at level 10. Anything before that is going to run us some bait coins, which we honestly don't need because we can get to level 10 pretty quickly once we get to where we're going. We're going to farm trout until we're level 10 pretty much is the best you can do. This we honestly won't need for now anyway, but if you choose to keep it, that's also fine. We got our new float, which will make it cast farther, but it's too heavy, so we're going to stick this one on there and leave it there. We'll save that one whenever we upgrade our tackle later on. All we have is bread. Again, we can always keep it, use it till it's gone. That's absolutely fine. Now, if you're going to buy baits, what I highly recommend, you can get several different bait options you can go through here, whatever levels you can buy. Bread with honey works really good at Lone Star, especially for the smallmouth buffalo. That right there will get you those smallmouth buffalo. They still bite on this. They'll even bite on dough balls. Really good baits. But where we're going, we're not going to need it. One thing I will say is, anytime you go to buy baits, always buy them from the shop in the open world, not at a lake. It's much more expensive at the lake, and you're not going to make as much money per pound of fish if you're trying to play without premium. One bait I will recommend we get after we get done farming to level 10 and get some money in our pocket is small minnows. These baits are going to be amazing because we'll come down here to the feeder rods. So we could get a feeder rod now, but we don't need one just yet because these, where we're going to be fishing, are going to be worthless if you do not have a titanium leader. And since we're going to do this free to play, we're going to wait till level 10 before we make our first purchase. And honestly, you could use this one, or this one, or this one. There's no difference really other than minor amounts of experience from fish. It just depends on how long you want to use that rod. If you want to use this rod a little farther into the game, maybe at Everglades if you get there, then obviously you're going to want to go with this one, but you're going to be fighting fish for quite a long time unless you're fishing for smaller fish. They do help get your missions done a lot quicker though. I will probably go with this one just because it's a small rod, you don't need it to do much of anything. Or this one. Either way, an 8-foot 10-inch rod or a 7-foot 10-inch rod will get plenty far out where we need to go. So now we're going to work our way up to level 10. We have our setup. This is all we're going to need. We'll come down here and make sure we equip our new tackle, which is this. Now we can take this. Honestly, I don't recommend keeping your older keep nets. It's very rare you'll ever need them unless you're going to do very specific tournaments. We, however, will not be. So we'll sell it. We've got our keep net, we've got our new rod case, and we have a rod stand, just in case. So if we choose to fish for smaller fish, which we won't at this place, so it's not a big deal. So now we're going to go to Rocky Lake. A lot of people have trouble with this lake, but honestly, it's one of the easiest lakes to grind fish and experience at if you know where to fish. So we're going to go ahead and pick up a license. We should only need one, our Advanced Colorado license, and here we go. The goal is to save as much money as we can, because around level 15-ish or so, we're going to start spending a little more money than most people would want. So we're going to start off over here. Looky there, money just for showing up. Awesome. Close that out. Before we start, remember that when we bought this, we set it up so that we can run a max drag setup. So let's go ahead and max out our drag. And the best area to cast, I mean, look at the casting range in this. Perfect. You can get out almost all the way anywhere we go. Is from here to here. You can get uniques, Colorado golden trout, I believe rainbow trout as well, or possibly cutthroat trout. And then over here, if you can get out there, you will get rainbow trout and some cutthroat trout as well, all the way out there. Over on this side, you can get more golden Colorado trout from over there, and over there you can get cutthroat trout anywhere over there. So if you're fishing where he's at, you can actually cast in between the rocks and pull it back to you, and you can catch them there. I prefer to fish over here, just to the side of this log. Generally right there where it looks like there's that break in the grass is a great place to cast. So we'll cast it out there, adjust our reel speed to 2, and there's several kinds of retrieves you can do. You can do stop and go. Looks like we snagged on the first cast. Get that off there. I prefer right clicking, holding. You can do it really slow for a lift and drop, or you can do it a little quicker for a twitching action. All of these will work for trout. It makes no difference. The only difference is, with twitching, they will hook themselves almost every single time. Makes it super easy to fish. Then you don't have to worry about being fast enough to hit the set hook whenever they slam your rod when you're not paying attention. There we go, young cutthroat trout. $41, great place to make money. So if we forward time a little bit to say here, now we'll have a much better chance at catching bigger and better quality fish. I like to run mine fairly close to the bottom. That way we always have that good chance of getting rainbow trout, but it's not always a guarantee. And sometimes you'll run into snags on your way in. You'll hit something, and you'll see your tension go up, but you won't get a hook. That's probably just a log in the water, so I wouldn't worry about it. And then you get bites like that, which are great, because then you know you got something nice. Another nice way to keep yourself from getting spooled is to keep your rod low, and then when they run at you, you begin reeling straight away. If you hold right click like this, you can put a little more pressure on the fish, which will help wear them out a little quicker. But like I said, either way, it doesn't matter. You should be able to feel you're keeping it up in one day, every day you're here. Just in any one of those spots that I showed you. If you're not catching fish in one spot, you can go to another spot or cast another spot, and generally you'll do pretty good. We should start wearing this fish down here, gain some ground on him. And once we get him in, hopefully it'll be a nice trophy or even a unique. This is a great lake to get your first unique out of it. You'll get tons of experience and possibly get some bait coins and prepare yourself for an even better fight with some big trophies later on. The next time we upgrade our spinning rod with an actual rod will be at level 20. That's when you get one of the best rods in the game. I'm sure a lot of people know that the Jig Winner, I believe it's the 1310, is an absolute tank of a rod for being small. With the right reel combo, you can land almost any fish in the game on it. It's if you're on a boat. It's actually kind of ridiculous, but it's by far one of the best rods for your buck, no matter what. So definitely a sought after non-premium user rod. And if you're like me and you liked fighting the fish, then all for it. I love fighting the fish, so I don't mind the long battles. Because by end game, you better get used to it, because there's some fish, even with the biggest tackle in the game, you're still going to be fighting them for quite a long time. Looks like we're finally gaining a little bit on him out here. I know a lot of people will fish at this lake until they're 25 just because they like the fast-paced action of catching these trout. I don't mind it either. I personally prefer walleye fishing. It's a little slower, a little easier to catch, because sometimes these fish can run straight at you, even with your higher speed setup rods, and still get off due to low line tension. It gets really annoying about the first time you lose your fish. Also, if they get you low, you can always walk away from them as well, just like that, to help keep that tension up as needed. Alright, we should be getting more out here. He should start coming in. As he runs back out. The uniques here, they fight really hard, but well worth the reward when you get them in. I can't honestly tell what kind of a trout that is. I just know he's big. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it was a really big largemouth bass, but I don't believe they swim that fast. good run or two in him. Uh-oh, somebody broke a reel. If they watched my fishing video, that would never happen. There he is. Look at the size of that guy. He's big. I like how the water's crystal clear. You can see him down there. Awesome. Come on in, big guy. There we go. Big old trophy rainbow trout. Look at that. Sure beats Lone Star, huh? And another 4.3 pounds in the net. Oh, looky there. We've unlocked new gear. And here's something to say, hey, we want you to spend more money in the game. I don't prefer to buy any packs in the game on any of my other accounts, really. I've had a couple bought for me, but the only one I bought anything for was my main account when I was young, dumb, and didn't know anything about the game other than I liked to go fishing, and it was fun. How about that? Second cast right away, hooked up. You can only imagine how fast you would level up here with premium. However, early game, I feel that premium is slightly a hindrance. I mean, yeah, you're pushing through the levels faster, you're getting a little bit more money for your catches, but you're better off having to grind more fish because you're still going to get your experience, you're still going to get your money, and you're going to get a lot of experience as far as how to, better to find spots, etc. Plus, at the end of the day, if you're catching more fish, you're probably going to average more than you would paying for the premium anyway. Come on. There we go. That was a close one. Yep. Might have spoke too soon. Get our rod down. Face the tip at him. Oh, look at that, fellas. We're in this game with a legendary fisherman, Bill Dance. We'll know if it's him or not, because give it 5 minutes and he'll fall off in the water somewhere. Yep, look at that. He left already. This one's swimming awfully fast. Might even be a unique, who knows, or another big trophy. It's kind of like fishing in a bucket. Just got so much line on our reel that they can't outrun us no matter where they go, so they're going to be swimming around eventually. One thing I will say about early game is the premium kind of helps with your tackle because you will have to repair your tackle quite often, especially fighting fish like this. It does wear out your equipment with a max drag setup, but in the end, it's still worth it, I feel, because you're going to catch a lot of fish with max drag. Because right now, we know for a fact we're maxing out our reel's capabilities and putting as much pressure as we can put on this fish. Because we're only limited to 4-pound line. Sometimes you can buy a reel and have it go over and then just turn your drag down accordance to how I showed you in the first video on how to figure up your drag, your pound per point of drag, and actually get a little more. But I mean, a half a pound early game is not going to make too much of a difference when you're fighting a fish that's 5 pounds. Maybe 10 seconds difference in catch time. So glad we went with the higher reel speed over the smaller one, because it would have been a heck of a fight with 23 inches versus 27. This one looks nice and chunky too. The only thing I think we'll run into on this lake is running into the timer with non-premium, of course. They give you ridiculous amounts of time that you have to wait to forward time again, which is kind of ignorant. I mean, that's just one of those intentional things they put in to try to coerce you into spending money on the game. Although it's not really necessary, like I would say. I mean, if it's really that big of a deal and you don't want to sit there and wait the time or fish other spots just to get experience and no money, I would recommend just going for a walk. Here we go. Another trophy rainbow trout. Another big chunk of experience. Alright, it's 2 in a row. Let's see if we can get a hat trick. Typically, if you're catching trophies in an area, you can generally get uniques in that same area. It's not always, but typically. More often than not, I should say. I'm just glad that they haven't added anything in the game like, oh, the fish straightened your hook. Sorry, get a new hook. Oh, there's my dog barking at something. Must be excited because somebody just came home. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Wife just got home. Back to it. Shouldn't take long. I'm going to go ahead and mute my audio for a little bit, and I'll just sit here and fish. That way you guys can watch where I'm casting, what I'm catching. And then once I get where we need to be, I'll come back. looks like the peak here is evening time. So we're going to go ahead and forward it again. $1,300, 750 experience, not a bad day. Some day patterns, these spots may not work, but out of all the spots that I've cast and showed you, all of those spots will hit on every time. It doesn't matter if you don't get them in one, go to the other, and you will get fish there. Kind of works out perfectly though, because by the time you can forward time again, your keep net's full.
be afraid to move spots, guys. If you sit in a spot and you cast a few times, even if you get a couple little bites here and there, but if you're not cooking no serious hookups, switch spots and give it a try. You never know. Fish like to move around just as much as we do. You never know when you're going to hork a unique or a nice trophy out of this place. trying to see if I can't get a unique golden Colorado trout for you guys, so you have a good idea where to fish for those. I generally have more luck on this right side, but you can catch them on the left side at the first spot I cast.
I don't reckon it's very cost effective to join a lake and then leave right away. I'd imagine that eats through your funds pretty quickly, especially if you're lower level. Certainly slaying the trophies today. It's making leveling up go pretty quick and easy. And we're making good money doing it too.
here's the other unique golden Colorado trout you can get from over there on that side. Well, kind of unfortunate we hit the unique when we did, but we're going to cast one more time and catch one more. All right, not a bad day. Just like that, we're level 10, getting ready to move to the next area. Like I said, durability will get tested.
Severe weather. I've been telling you guys this.
Kids don't believe me. There's going to be some bad weather coming through pretty soon. So basically what we're going to do here is take a look. So we're going to check the level. What can we use up to level 10? What size drag, etc. So we have a 7-pound crucian hunter. It's got good recovery rate.
You're not going outside. Get that ball in the house.
I guess they're going to find out when the bad weather hits. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is how the game blocks you from getting certain things at certain levels. So right now, we can get a reel that's plenty big enough, but the Then they lock you out with a line, make you want to pay bait coins to try to push up a little farther, which is kind of ridiculous. Just to clarify, you get this line from completing one of the missions or from completing an achievement. Now we'll go pick up some barbless hooks. One-aught is preferred. Fresh baits, get some small minnows. We'll figure out how much we're going to use here. So Emerald Lake takes 3,000 to travel to, and a one-day license is 900, so just shy of 4,000. So now we got this, we need to get a weight and get everything set up on it. Always check your weights here. So line weights, got your quiver tips, your casting weights. So anywhere between a 6 to 1 1/4 will work. So we'll go with this 7/8. Now here's where we really need it. Titanium leaders. Get a pack of these, because we're going to need them. So your leader length, or strength, can be way above your other stuff. So 7, that's 7.5, that's only 3.5, and that's 4. But it'll work. I'll go there and fish just for a little bit before I have to end the stream, but I'll give you guys a good idea about where to fish. Alright, so what I recommend for walleye, you don't need to necessarily fish the peaks for walleye. You just fish out there, somewhere in that area. There's other spots you can catch them in, over here, over there. You can even catch them back here at night. Cloudy days are good for walleye, rainy days are good for walleye, and nighttime especially. soon as we get our keep net full. This quick little intro. Tomorrow I will have some markers for you guys. I will get put up here, transfer from my other character to show you, I think 4 or 5 really good trophy walleye spots, so that you can get on a good rotation and get through these levels pretty quick, so you're not here mindlessly grinding for quite a while. The reason I recommend walleye fishing over the trout fishing is because it's usually faster catch times. Some of the trophies can be a little hoggy, but for the most part, it's about the same experience slash money, and the trophies are really rewarding. I can barely hog this one in. Like that right there. Nice little 3 to 4 pound trophy. I think they get up to 4 to 5 pounds. I don't remember, but good money, good experience, faster catches. It's the way to go. Also a tip, never leave your bottom rods or feeder rods in the water when you leave, because typically it breaks your leaders off. Alright, you guys have a good one, and hopefully this helps clear up some of the early game grinding, because this will be a great place for you to come fish. And with walleye, you can fish throughout the day and the nighttime and catch a bunch of them.